I don't want to touch it. I want to bury it as
Then you
best I can.
should, as long as like that video that Mannis made doesn't go out even further and no one says anything, because I'm not gonna look at it.
What the fuck is wrong with you niggas? You ought to be fucking ashamed of yourself.
If you saw the title of my last video or even watched it, you'd know that I'm engaged and have a daughter now. So honestly, the last thing on my mind was Spoctor or the Rants community in general. I've kind of just been in my own world lately, enjoying every aspect of life, which does not include a community of losers making petty videos on each other. I am gonna steal their style/format since it's significantly easier than mine, in case you were wondering why the quality of this video is so low. I've just had too much on my plate and better videos to make than this one, so forgive my lack of creativity as I kind of just want to cover a few things and get the fuck out of here. December 27th, 2019, I make my video on Spoctor and allegations given to me by someone close to the situation. January 19th, 2020, I get a DM on Discord by someone named Nice Stories saying, "Look, I saw your video on Spoctor and I want to talk to you about it." Next day, I asked them what about and get no response for a pretty long time. May 18th, the same week I moved out of my home state for the first time, I got a message saying Spoctor has seen my video and appears to have issued a response in their DMs, which I was told not to tell anyone. They also sent me a Google Drive of his DMs with Spoctor and other related screenshots regarding my video, including a copy of it. I wasn't really sure what this person's interest was with Spoctor and why he'd even be willing to talk to them. It honestly just seemed really sloppy on Spoctor's part, which isn't too surprising considering what happened recently, but that was pretty much it for a while. I originally planned on making a follow-up video with information I was given, but honestly I wasn't sure the information I was given was real and I kind of just had better things to do. I figured my job was done, most of the information was out, and all that had to be done was to wait for his public response. But in the screenshot I was given of those DMs with Spoctor, he basically said he was just going to ignore it and let it blow over. But a few more weeks go by and I've pretty much forgotten about the situation and I've basically moved on from YouTube as a creator and as a viewer. Until May 23rd, 2023, 3 years after I made the decision to step away from YouTube, I get a DM from a girl who came forward with all the information I used in my video, basically updating me on everything that happened with Spoctor. And I have a lot of respect for this girl, so I'm not going to show the DM. She really was just catching up and thanking me for giving her a voice in the situation. But it was pretty awful timing. I was actually in Salem looking for my fiance's driver's license since I was out of state in Boston for a Blink-182 concert. So I didn't respond or look into what she was talking about until June 28th, a little after a month of her DMing me. Then I saw the multiple and honestly dog shit videos covering the situation. Like, I really don't understand why this community feels the need to make unnecessarily long videos on everything they talk about. And forgive me for not watching all these videos front to back since most of them are over an hour long, but in case you aren't caught up, around April of 2023, a YouTuber named Leo Convoy made a video covering Spoctor and a leaked Discord call between Junkie, Phagos, and himself, mostly discussing my video and how to approach a response. According to Leo, or Lio, or however the fuck he pronounces it, one of the two people in the call recorded and held on to the footage for 3 years before giving it to him. But the first half of the video is also discussing a Discord call with another YouTuber, Hopeless Peaches, and some drama they had with Spoctor. I'm being pretty vague about the situation since I don't know much about it or even care, to be honest. All you need to know is Spoctor was harassing this creator and was basically making himself look worse than he already does. And it's honestly worth looking into if you want more of a reason to hate Spoctor, but it doesn't involve my video, at least from what I've seen. But the second half of Leo's video is discussing my video and a leaked call between the three of them, with some of the notable highlights being Spoctor admitting to pretty much everything I said, but most importantly admitting to owning a flash drive of naked pictures of an underage girl, which he had previously denied in his DM with Nice Stories. Another highlight was Spoctor begging his two boys not to throw him under the bus, and Junkie advising to ignore my video and hoping it just fades away. And soon after, Spoctor mentions interest in reaching out to Ponder, the creator who bailed him out of his first round of grooming accusations. And there's probably more to the call, but I really can't be bothered to watch everything regarding the situation. And soon after that call was leaked, everyone and their mother in this god-awful community made a video on both Hopeless Peach's situation and the accusations in my video, including everyone's favorite echo chamber, Just a Retard, which before people claim I'm just bitter about his video talking about mine, I'll proudly admit that I've been a certified hater of Jar's content for many years. I just find it hilarious that the guy who sounds like he was shoved in lockers his whole life says that I have a punchable face, despite never showing his, on top of hiding his annoying fucking voice behind this cringe robot filter.
I be popping bottles, sparkles and champagne. VIP, my section, royalty looking sexy.
And trust me, I would love to just sit here for hours talking about how much I hate Jar's content, but I genuinely have more important things to do. And I really wanted to mention how fucking dumb it was to even include his rant about my video. Spoctor played him like a fucking fiddle, and he still proudly released his video on mine like he did something, which I'll give him credit. For the very first time, he actually provided new information about a situation that doesn't involve him. But I really don't understand how you made a video on Spoctor's behalf, dunking on my video and pointing out the fact that I didn't really have a lot of solid evidence, just for him to beg you not to upload it, to the point where he even edited a video for you for free in a rush as a replacement for your sponsor. I mean, how does that not raise a red flag? And what does releasing that video now do besides show your irrational hate for Simply Dad and some guy that also hates your dogshit community of creators? Because you honestly had pretty useful information of Spoctor doing everything in his power to suppress my video, and showing your unnecessary rant just padded your trash video for more watch time, which is really fucking lame considering you claim to make these videos for the people and the voiceless or whatever. Because I'm sure Ellis Mark needed your passion for helping those in need by echoing probably the worst and most vulnerable moment in his YouTube career, let alone his life. But anyway, back to the people actually relevant in the situation. On the 1st of June, I reached out to Junkie asking him for a few minutes to talk about everything surrounding the call that was leaked and Spoctor around the time I made my accusation. So the remainder of this video is just going to be the call I had with Junkie and a short conclusion about everything after, while gloating that I was right about everything this whole time, which you probably don't need to hear if you're a psycho who actually watched everyone else's feature-length film on the topic. And then I'll talk to my subscribers directly about personal stuff you probably don't give a shit about. So honestly, please don't subscribe off of this video, as I fucking hate this community, and you will be sadly disappointed on the videos I upload whenever I actually decide to do so. Oh, and also comment if you thought I was a big meanie or disliked the video. It helps a lot with the algorithm, and if you're lucky, maybe somebody will actually look at those. Anyway, here's the interview / call or whatever. Thank you for watching. So kind of you. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. I love you. Hey. Hello?
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
Tired, a little nervous, but I'll be alright.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I'm super tired, and I actually had like, well, I kind of had an outline of what I was, gonna ask, and then I was gonna write some notes last night, but my daughter was literally up like till 3 in the morning just screaming, so sorry if I'm like
Lord.
a little over the place.
You're fine, man. You're fine.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not here to grill you. I just have like a couple questions that, because man, it's really hard to kind of get a full picture of everything that happened watching everyone else's videos of like that are like literally an hour and a half, because like I don't have time to watch all those videos, because like some of them will have pretty useful information, but it's like sprinkled in, and it's just too much to keep track of. But
Right.
I guess one of the first things I wanted to ask was just like when you decided to, because I mean I haven't really paid attention to your channel, anyone's channel, since about 2020, when you kind of stepped away from YouTube, and why.
I stepped away because I realized that this problem was bigger than me. I realized that not only did I make one of the biggest mistakes in my life that was essentially avoidable by just not involving myself and just staying away, but I decided not to, because I guess I just wanted to prove something that was, I can be better than this. I can do better. Like, no, I ended up falling for a bunch of stupid shit, working with a lot of people that ended up being not what they seem, and because of that, a lot of creators rightfully were pissed off with me and how I treated them and how I've handled the situation. And as it started to climb bigger and bigger, I had friends that pulled me aside, like, you need to step away. This is not going to be good for your mental health. And it wasn't. Like, for, I'd say, the past year and a half, maybe 2 years, I was depressed. I didn't know what to do. YouTube was always my passion, but with it gone, I didn't know what else to do. And I think what did not help at first is that like I immediately just thought like, oh, like everyone's just trying to go after me, they're against me, this and that, like, oh, I'll bounce back from this, until like a year after I had left, two of my friends pulled me aside like, no, you fucked up, you made this choice, and now you have to live with this. Like, you need to seek a therapist, you need to go fix yourself and rethink what you've done. And that kind of smacked me back into reality and realized, oh my god, what have I done?
Like, I totally get that, because I wouldn't say I was in the same boat, but I feel like a lot of YouTubers are. You're kind of like, you have this sense of loyalty, and I think for a lot of people it's kind of fake loyalty, where it's like you kind of think that you have to keep the people around you afloat, and that you have to just kind of think the best of everyone, even though a lot of YouTubers are just like, you never really know what's going on. And I don't really know much about your other like past trauma situations, and I really don't care, to be honest. Like, I've seen thumbnails and titles that are like junkie, liar, manipulator, and I'm sure what you did probably wasn't cool, and
No, it wasn't.
yeah, I'm sure it wasn't, and I'm sure what you did is definitely redeemable.
And so that's one thing I want to say. I don't think it's redeemable.
Really?
I just don't think it is.
I mean, if it really goes as far as just like lying and maybe manipulating, and I guess defending someone like Spoctor, or even what was his name, Fagos, I don't know if you defended him. I had no idea who he was, but I mean, I knew who he was, but I had no idea of his past controversies. And when I looked it up, I was fucking like, I was taken aback. Like, that is unredeemable in my opinion. What Spoctor did is unredeemable in my opinion. There are a lot of creators that have done a lot of irredeemable things, and I think that just lying or manipulating, or basically not having a sense of what you were doing in the time, because it gets really, you get caught up in it, you don't really see what you're doing until you take a step back.
So like with I guess to explain like both Fagos and Spoctor, I guess I could start with the big one, Spoctor. I remember coming across him years ago when he was a tiny channel. He responded to one of my old like rantceptions back when I was talking about a creator that I can't remember who it was exactly. It's been for fucking ever. And I was still, budding. I was still trying to figure out my like vibe, like what can I do, what am I good at, what am I not good at, and shit. And he responded, and I saw potential in him. I saw myself in him. I'm like, wow, you have a lot of like good qualities, and one of this before all this shit happened.
Yeah.
And the call that was shared, that was when I think he spoke to one of the creators who found out about the shit he had with his flash drive, and he explained that like, that he basically wants us to have his back. And I didn't know how else to respond in that call. I can't remember half of the shit that happened in the call. Like, again, this happened like 5-6 years ago. I can't remember a majority of it, but the one thing I do remember is that I kept thinking, like, I could have sworn he explained to me, like, in a I think it was either in a call or some other server I don't have access to anymore, that he told me he got rid of it, he destroyed it, he beat the shit out of that damn thing and threw it the fuck away. And that's why I just didn't say anything. Was it a smart move? No, it fucking wasn't. I should have said something, but I was too chicken shit to do it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's really hard, because it's like, you follow someone for so long, you become friends with them, and then you don't really like, you don't want to put the, I mean, some people think like, oh, putting the knife in the back, but it's just, you don't want to burn any bridges, and you don't really want to make that shot. Because like when I was given the accusations in my video from Shy Gal, I was a little hesitant, and there were a lot of people. I told a couple people. One of them was Turkey Tom, and he was like, "This is a terrible idea. You shouldn't like ever bring this up." And then I uploaded my video, and he messaged me like instantly, and he was like, "This was like the worst mistake that you've made." And I mean, I had no connections to Spoctor, but I didn't know that it would kind of burn all my bridges with like the rant community, because I didn't know. I'm not really familiar with the community besides you. I mean, I think you were kind of my introduction, because I found out that you had shouted me out, and then I kind of went down the rabbit hole like everyone else within the community. And like, yeah, it just like, I could see how fast everyone around me was just like kind of distancing themselves because I had gone after someone who had already been falsely accused, which I don't even know if that was falsely accused. I just know that that was kind of the consensus. And
So, like, at first it was falsely accused, but after, you know, the whole flash drive thing, then it was true. It's like, oh,
yeah.
great.
And I think in hindsight, maybe I should have went a little softer. I kind of went, you know, guns heavy and like, and
mean, it's a serious situation.
Yeah.
It should be taken seriously.
And for a while, I was kind of like doubtful and kind of regretful for like, oh, maybe I should have went a little softer. And then when I think a couple weeks ago, I saw that I had no idea any of this happened until like literally a month ago. I got messaged from the person who originally messaged me about all this information, and she said, hey, thank you for making the video. Basically everything got leaked, and it turns out that you were right, or that we were both right. And I had kind of had like a suspicion that I might have, because I had been messaged a while back in May of 2020. Someone named Nice Stories DM me saying that he had talked to Spoctor, and that he had basically kind of like tried to, basically what he said in the Discord call with you and Fagos, which he was like trying to avoid the situation by not talking about it and let it fading into what's it called? Obscurity. Yeah. And I kind of thought that was, you know, kind of shady. And then I saw the video that Just a Robot made, where he basically like tried really hard to get Just a Robot to not upload his video, debunking my video. And I figured, you know, someone that desperate to cover that up would have something to hide. So I'm a little shocked that it kind of took this long, and I'm assuming you're the one that kind of brought it to light, because I saw the video that Leo Convoy made, and it looks like you were the one that was screen recording the Discord call, right?
I don't have that on my computer, because I don't have that file.
Oh, really? So who leaked it?
I have no fucking idea.
Really? Because I was watching.
I mean, my guess would be either one of like Spoctor's friends had it, or maybe Fagos leaked it, because I don't know where the fuck that dude is.
Well, I thought there was only 3 of you in a call, right?
Yeah.
So I remember I saw it, and it was only you and Spoctor in the call at first, but then like a couple of minutes later, Fagos joined. So I was like, oh, it has to be Junkie, because obviously Spoctor's not going to record his own downfall and upload it.
I'm trying to think, because I don't remember ever recording that at all. Like, again, this happened 5-6 years ago. I don't fucking remember any of this shit.
So you weren't the one that went to Leo Convoy, gave him that footage?
No.
Huh.
I don't remember ever speaking to Leo Convoy about that. Unless I'm misremembering shit.
No, yeah, it's just kind of weird, because like I don't really know where it starts. Like, I'm pretty sure Leo Convoy is the first person to kind of blow it up and who had the leaked Discord call. But if I remember correctly, it was only you 3, and I'm pretty sure Fagos was the last one to join the call. So it's kind of weird. But I think another question I really had was, obviously you shouted me out in your like, it was a shout out series like a while back. This was probably like 3 years ago. And I was looking, like, just kind of catching up with everyone after I heard this, and I saw that you took it down, and I was wondering if, like, during the moment Spoctor knew about it and he told you, hey, you should take this down, and kind of silence as much traction, or maybe like stop as much traction to my channel, because obviously you being kind of associated with somebody who made a hit piece on Spoctor is not a great look. And I was just wondering if that was like your own call, or
I'm trying to remember. Fuck, what was that? I hate having such shit memory. It might have, but I don't remember. Like, maybe let me look and see if I can find Spock's old, like, let's see here. What does it go by again? Fucking give me a second here.
No worries. I have dog shit memory as well. And like, when you're doing YouTube stuff, like, you talk to so many creators, and like they kind of all mesh together, and you kind of absorb so much information that it kind of gets lost.
I can't find Tech's old Discord account.
Oh, don't worry about it. It was just like a small question.
I think I remember him mentioning it, but I can't remember exactly if he asked me to delete it or anything.
Okay. It's just in my head, I could imagine him being like, yo, like, you're promoting this guy who made a video on me, like, you need to take this down. Because it's just, like, from my point of view, because he was trying so hard for Just a Robot to not get his video out, which was talking about my video, I could just see him being like, yo, everything about Mannis needs to be suppressed, and this needs to not get out any further than it already has.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing your video a while back, and I remember thinking back to the call and just thinking, well, no, he got rid of it. Like why would this be a big deal now?
Yeah.
And I just kept convincing myself that. And again, that wasn't a smart move. It was stupid. But I guess it's just my way of to try and like convince myself that it's okay. I guess.
No, and
It's not okay.
Yeah, it's not, and I'm not blaming you. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, you honestly should. I guess I had that choice.
No, yeah.
I just decided not to.
But the thing is, like, there's a lot. I'm sure you weren't the only person who knew. I'm sure Fagos knew. I'm sure there was way more people who knew. You know, it's just a web of people that were keeping up with the lies just because he was at the top, you know, and you can't really go at him, because if you don't have enough information, people are just going to label you as a liar, and then your reputation goes down the shitter. So I don't blame you at all, to be honest. I feel
like I have some blame in it, though.
No, I mean, yeah, obviously it definitely probably weighs a lot on your conscience, for sure. I'm sure it would for anyone.
It does.
But the thing is, when you have your own channel and when it's your dream, your goal, and you see it in jeopardy because of something that is out of your control, it's scary, you know? You don't want to jeopardize it just because you think it's the right thing to do. And a lot of people choose that route of not doing that because they're like, fuck, I don't want to give up everything I have because this is technically the right thing to do.
Yeah, but like, in hindsight, I should have, because like, you shouldn't let your dreams get in the way of someone that genuinely needs justice against them. And I decided to not do that, and that was stupid of me. Like, I get where you're coming from with that kind of perspective, but like, in a different perspective, like, people should be a bit more responsible with themselves, including me. I should have been more responsible.
No, I definitely agree. I'm just saying, for your community especially, like the rant community or DeviantArt, whatever you want to call it, there's just a lot
at this point.
There's just a lot of like fear and, like I said, fake loyalty to a lot of people. And I think one of the bigger questions I had was when was the last time you talked to Spoctor?
Fucking hell. I think after that call, I just kind of started distancing myself from the guy.
Really? Was
like,
that?
I think he would. What's that?
I was just gonna say, was that kind of when? I mean, I don't remember when your last video was, but is that kind of when you slowed down and stopped uploading, maybe?
No, that was around, I think, it's like 5 years. So let's see here. So that was 5-6 years ago. After that call, I remember just like subconsciously, like, we need to stop talking to this person, or just not talk to them as often as we should.
Yeah.
And I started to notice I was not talking to him as often as I usually did. Like, I remember, like, I talked to him, like, I think a few years ago, but like, it wasn't as consistent. Like, I would consistently just like ignore him all the time.
Yeah.
And I think deep down, I think that's probably the reason why.
It's kind of like, it's kind of difficult to kind of want a distance, and I can see why it took kind of a while, and I can see also why that call was kind of the tipping point for you. But was that situation in particular, or was it another situation that other people were calling you out for, kind of the reason why you slowed down, or was it Spoctor specifically? Because in my opinion,
I don't think it was Spoctor specifically. It was a multitude of things. I had like after I stopped uploading, I had a full-time job to worry about. I had my boyfriend that I'm trying to take care of as much as I can. I had other responsibilities to work on, like, you know, paying bills, paying rent, paying off my car that I just recently got that year. So like, I mainly stopped because of that, but I did want to go back, but nowadays I know I can't. It's like, you've hurt so many people. Like, why would you dare come back?
Well, why do you think you can't?
Well, I mean, after the whole Spoctor thing, it's like, why would you want to convince yourself to come back knowing that you could have done something better. And what if that ends up happening again? You end up hurting someone else.
Well, how old are you when that happened?
I was, let's see, I was 20, 21, I think.
21. I mean, I'm 22 now, and I think
26.
I think I was, let's see, I don't know, probably 16, 17 around there when I made my video.
Yeah, but I think during that call, I don't think I was in a very good mental state. Back then, I still wasn't. Like, even now, I'm kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you at all, because, like, I was, for a very long
Again,
time...
you really should.
No, yeah, I mean, I mean, for certain things, yeah, but, like, I was also in a pretty shitty headspace, and I feel so genuinely lucky that I didn't blow up as much as I did, because towards the end of, like, when I stopped uploading, I'd gained 1,000 subscribers on my last video, and I didn't upload. So I was consistently gaining, like, you know, 50, 100 subs before that, and then my last video, for some reason, I just got like 1,000 subscribers, and it was all without me not uploading. And I felt like had I kept going, I could have gotten not like huge, but substantially, yeah, substantially bigger than what I was. But I'm super grateful that I didn't blow up even younger, because like there's there's a very good chance I could have made an even worse mistake, because like I said, when you have your dream in front of you, and you can see it and you can like feel it, you don't want to jeopardize it at all for anyone, for anything. And I was even younger than you, so I probably would have made some really fucking dumb mistakes. And I was also in a very bad mental health state. I started smoking weed, and I heavily got addicted, and I was just making bad mistake after bad mistake. And it didn't get to a point where, you know, my fiance was pregnant, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta grow up fast. And stepping away from YouTube was probably one of the best things I ever did, despite it being kind of like a dream of mine, not to kind of blow up, but it's just been a passion of mine since I was like 14.
I mean, I understand, because that's what I had to do. I had to make that choice. Like, either you step away now and try and focus on yourself, or you just continue to try and like
exactly
dig yourself out of a hole that you know you can never get yourself out of.
Exactly. And I think you specifically, and I even, need to kind of realize, like, hey, this was a dark time. This was a kind of a energy filled space. Like, when you're in YouTube and you're constantly uploading and you're constantly working on video ideas, you don't take a time to think about yourself, to think about other people. You're just thinking about your content. And I think now that you've stepped away for so long, you can kind of maybe come back and maybe
so
kind of make amends, maybe.
Yes, personally, I don't think I can, because I burnt so many bridges and made so many regrets and mistakes that I don't know if I can.
I think you definitely could. I mean, it's not like you have to come back to the same community, and it's not like you have to kind of get in touch with these people. I mean, as long as people see your growth, you don't have to speak about it. You don't have to be like, hey, I'm different, I'm changed. You just gotta make the adjustment and show people that you've changed. And it's that easy. I mean, obviously it's gonna be rough, but I think it's definitely possible.
I appreciate it, but I don't see myself doing that.
Look, man, I'm not trying to like I guess pressure you or make you feel bad into feeling like you can't, or you can, or whatever. I just think that you have more options than you think you do, to be honest. And I get that guilt. I have a lot of guilt about other shit too. Not really related to YouTube, but I have a lot of guilt myself that's like I could never take back. And there are some days where I think I can't, you know, I can't make the decisions to be the better person that I already am.
I know, but it's hard, because I've had many friends that walk away from me telling me how I've hurt so many people. Like, I've hurt Peaches, and I've hurt Manga, and I've hurt everyone that I used to work with, and I've held that regret to myself for years, and I don't want to go back, because I don't want to do that again.
Dude, I mean, just the fact that it's tearing you up inside is a huge indicator that you are not the same person that you were.
I just don't want to do that again.
You won't. I mean, you are a much bigger person than I remember you being. No offense, but like you are.
No, it's just the other reason why I don't want to come back is because I mean I found my own happiness right now. I work with a couple new friends of mine. We're working on an animation series. We're having
That's
fun.
awesome.
I've been studying animation and just enjoying it. But like me coming back, it means I have to face my fears again. Because that's the thing. I don't want to come back because I feel like I'd open up old wounds and hurt more people than I initially intended to. Because I've already hurt a lot of old close friends that had to walk away from me, which they had every right to walk away from me. And being told how disappointed they were with me, it hurt so badly to the point where I had to try and break myself out of that shell and like focus so much on helping not only people that are close to me, but my like I mentioned my boyfriend, Lucifix. They used to go by Faye, but they go by Lucifix now. I'm not sure what else they go by nowadays, but when they were when they were struggling, because they don't talk about it much, but they struggle. Their family is not exactly wealthy, and I remember there were days where he was constantly worried about making ends meet, especially when they had to live in a motel for a while. And it just that's kind of the reason why I've not come back, is I've been so focused on just helping them and making sure that he's safe and his mom has plenty of like ways to, you know, at least have some form of like
Stability.
income, like a safety net, basically.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been so focused on it. But I don't think I want to come back because I've already tried to heal up these old wounds of mine, both mentally and physically, because back then I was severely overweight. I'm still pretty overweight, but not as bad as it used to be. It's just I don't think I can come back because I don't think I should. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to come back and try and like, oh hey guys, like apologies for everything that's happened and everything.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to. I wanted to come back and apologize, but the problem with it is that I kept trying to make it good, like make it like seem genuine, but every time I would do it, either something else came up or some other kind of thing that like would like make me try and look in a different perspective. Like after my friends pulled me aside, basically like, no, not like you are the fuck up in this. And I already had a script already set to go, but after the call with my friends, I had to stop and rethink it and do it again. And after that call, I had, after I had to remake the script, I kept doing, because I kept telling myself it's not enough, it's not convincing enough. So, not so much convincing, it's not genuine enough. It's like you're like I'm not doing enough, basically.
Yeah.
And it all got to a breaking point where I just kept telling myself that this is not enough. Like you're just pretending. Like in my head, I kept thinking to myself like, you're just pretending. You're just trying to just say this. Just you want to just come back and like, hope everything's gone. Like no. And it just kept getting worse and worse to the point where my therapist told me, stop focusing on this and focus on what matters for you, your family, and your boyfriend, and you making enough money to get by. Don't focus on this because it just eats away at you. And it was eating away at me constantly.
Yeah. I just a quick question. Were you in therapy during this whole situation with Spoctor and other people you might have?
No, I wasn't, and I really should have.
Yeah. I think that's a big like mistake that a lot of creators make. I mean, not much a mistake, but just like something they don't really see, that how benefit.
I mean, no, it is a mistake,
beneficial.
because whenever people go through these kind of traumatic things, you need to see
Yeah,
therapy, because
absolutely.
it's a big thing, and you can't just convince yourself like, oh, I know it is, I can do it. Like no, like sometimes you do subconscious things and you don't realize until it's too fucking late. And look what I did. I did the same shit.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to come back. You're not obligated. You don't owe anyone anything. I'm just saying, like, you need to kind of realize, like, the space you're in right now compared to the space you were in back then. And if you don't ever feel comfortable like coming back, then that's cool. I mean, obviously you're thriving in what you're doing now. You're having fun with animation. You have a beautiful relationship. You have all these things going for you. So I don't think you need to come back to YouTube. But I know for a lot of people, and especially me, there's kind of like a hole of creativity that like I need to fill, and YouTube has always been that like outlet for me. And I don't want you to feel like there's no return, because I definitely think there could be if you wanted to.
So one thing I do want to say though is if you are making this video to try and defend me, don't.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm coming at it at an objective point of view. I'm just giving everyone who deserves the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not really like saying, hey, Junkie is struggling or whatever with this and he needs support, because that's probably not what you need. What you need is like
that's not realistic.
Yeah, what you need is to kind of deal with this on your own and figure out what you need.
Yeah.
And having other people tell you what to do, including me, is not going to help. I'm just telling you my personal point of view on how you could go about it, because in my personal view, like I said, Spoctor should never come back. Fagos should never come back. There are a lot of other creators like what was that one guy? Cosmodor.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he never come back. Lying and manipulating people, it's shitty and it's not good. And covering up something, not even really covering up, but staying silent about something that should have been public is not great. But again, you need to think about the circumstances that you were in. You were in a bad mental health state. You had zero support as far as therapy goes. And like you were more focused, as you should, or not as you should, but as pretty much everyone feels on their own content and their own career. That's kind of all anyone has in mind when they're starting up and when they're kind of seeing success. And I do want to say one thing. Go on. I was just saying that's the unfortunate cycle that YouTube will always have, and pretty much every field of entertainment is just so much passion and so much tunnel vision on their own career that they're not really focusing on other people's mishaps and trying to do what's right or what's just. They're just trying to get as far as they can without stepping on any toes. And like I said, that's the unfortunate cycle, and that's why so many people get away with so many things for so long.
Yeah, I will say one thing I do want to say is that people think that I'm not actually sorry. Like I am. I will always hold these regrets to myself, knowing that I could have done something better. I could have helped people around me, but instead I chose to be silent
and honestly
stayed quiet.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I just want to say out like I'm sorry for everything I've done, how I've treated people both in the past and presently, of course, how I've basically just let this happen over time and failed them.
Yeah. And like I said, that's the only reason why I'm kind of giving you this benefit of the doubt and why I'm seeing your perspective, is because I can hear it in your voice. I can hear your conflict with yourself and your past. Like, it's obviously eating you up inside, and you obviously have a lot of guilt and resentment for how you treated people, how you acted, how you went about certain things. And had you been like Spoctor when he was dealt with or when he was confronted with all this, and he kind of thought that he
ran away.
Yeah, he ran away. He thought he was in the right, and pretty much till the bitter end he was like, nope, it was all you guys, it wasn't me. Like,
I mean, technically I ran away too and thought the same thing until my friends actually pulled me aside.
Well, that's
actually got
the difference with that is you ran away to better yourself instead of running away from criticism that you rightfully deserved. I mean, you took the criticism, you took it to heart, and then you had friends pull you aside as well, and you took a step back and you changed, and you felt that you still feel like you can't come back, and that's a huge difference. I'm pretty sure Spoctor is still planning his comeback. Like,
from what my boyfriend told me, he's got a new Twitter or something like that. And
exactly.
I'm like, dude, really?
Yeah, like he just needs to he needs his internet access restricted, like legally. Like the court needs to fucking take it away from him. But you know,
fucking take the AT&T box and put a fucking
yeah,
hack in it. Mag dump that bitch.
Literally. But the fact that you're doing that yourself, that you're restricting yourself from coming back, it says so much more than, you know, you saying, oh, I'm sorry, or I'm regretful. I mean, the fact that you stayed away for this long and you still feel that you can't come back, it says way more than just saying sorry. Like, obviously you are sorry, and obviously you do have regrets, but you're taking it an extra step by limiting yourself to what you think you can't do because of your past.
I appreciate it, man. Was there any other questions you have?
I feel like I probably did, but like I said, I was gonna write notes, and I didn't have the time for it.
If you want, you can come back to me. We can call again.
Yeah,
and whatnot. I'm in no rush.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm in no rush either. I have way too much on my plate to get this video out in a very fast, timely manner, but I just kind of wanted to get your overall, just your perspective and your side, and I think this actually turned out way better than I thought. I wasn't really sure how you were gonna approach the topic and how, like, I don't know, maybe like truly sorry you know might have been, but I can easily tell that, like, this is something that still bothers you to this day.
I mean, I kind of felt the same way. I was like, how's Mannis gonna react to me? Like, oh fuck, like
Yeah.
I felt like a lady, like, trying to, like, go up on stage. Like, what do I do? Do I have the right makeup? Do I have this? Do I have that? Like, oh fuck, I've ruined everything.
No, I was the same way too, because I was like, I don't want to, like, scare you off. I don't want you to think that I'm here to grill you, or that I'm here to, like, you know, maybe, like, kiss your ass or whatever. Like, I just wanted to give you a kind of a platform to speak directly on what you want to talk about and what your genuine thoughts were on the situation, where you're at, where you're going, all that shit. And I think you did fucking amazing, bro. Like, you really pretty much gave me everything I needed to kind of get a clear picture of where you were, where you're at, and where you're going. And I really appreciate
and again, if you do have any more questions, just let me know in the future, and
I will. Is there anything you kind of want to leave out on the table? I mean, I'm sorry, I literally said this would be like a 5 to 10 minute call, and it's like 30 minutes
it's been
later.
almost like half an hour.
Yeah, but if there's like one last thing you want me to put in, something maybe you want to say directly to everyone, just let me know.
Just stay safe. That's all I can say. Like, this community can be very scary sometimes. Like, seek help if you need it. Go seek therapy, like I should have, like 5-6 years ago.
Exactly.
Like, talk to friends, family, do something. Don't just stay quiet about this like I did. Yeah,
that's the biggest problem people make, is they bottle it up and they think that they can handle it on their own, which is not the case.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah, and that's kind of how the cycle just keeps going, because people just think that they can handle it on their own, or they can think they can talk to someone who's kind of going through the same thing. But you really need, like, an objective point of view from, like, you know, a professional.
I mean, I had the mindset of, like, oh, you know, I'm an adult now. I'm 21 years old. I'm old enough to drink. Therefore, I'm old enough to handle this. I'm like, no, the fuck you're not.
I was literally the same way. I'm like, I was 21 and I was like, I can have a kid. Like, this is easy. Like, I'm basically an adult. My mom had my brother when she was 20, and then, like, I'm here fucking late because my daughter was screaming until 3 a.m, and, like, I'm losing sleep every day, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It really takes a lot of support, and unfortunately a lot of creators just don't have that. I mean, they have it, but they don't take the opportunity to take advantage of it.
I remember a lot of my friends told me that manga took it the worst, and that is one of the main regrets I have. That I wish I didn't do my video on the whole Toby situation. I should have just kept my nose out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I remember, like, because at first during the call, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine," but like it was like not 5, like 2, 3 years later, I look back, I was like, "Why did I do this?"
yeah, no,
Because
I
he's a good person, he is, and I hate seeing him so distraught over us. And all I want him to know is that I'm sorry, dude.
well, I
I'm
hope
sorry for how I treated you, and I'm sorry for how I responded, and I should have considered your feelings more. And instead, I burnt that bridge. I burnt it, and I know it's never coming back, but I regret it every day, constantly. And I just hope he's doing okay.
well, I can't speak for MangaKamen, but I'm pretty sure if he does see this, I'm pretty sure they would help him a lot, because he probably has, you know, that empty feeling of closure where he's just like, man, I wonder why Junkie did this. I wonder where he's at, you know, all that. And I'm
I
sure,
just thought I was doing the right thing. Like,
yeah, everyone does.
that was the problem. I kept convincing myself I was doing the right thing, but
Exactly.
the problem was I was convincing myself into a situation where there was no right way to deal with this, and I went forward with it because I just kept convincing myself, like, no, this is the right decision, this is the right choice. And then what didn't help is that the people I was surrounding myself in, which were other creators, including God, what was that bitch's name that ended up being a bit of a snake? Creepshow.
Oh yeah.
She, like, looking back, it's like, why did I not see the fucking signs? How much of your snake you were?
Yeah.
I should have known. But that's just what I wanted to say, because I still do regret doing that to Manga, because he didn't deserve that.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like I said, he probably maybe feels like a little bit of a void of that situation, but I really hope
I can tell, and I hope he's okay.
I hope he sees it, and I hope he gets a little bit of closure, because you know, everyone within that situation deserves to kind of feel like there's kind of like a resolution. Maybe like things can't go back to how they were, but at least everyone knows how everyone's feeling, and maybe MangaKamen might reach out to you. You can rekindle whatever.
I mean, I feel the same way with Peaches, because I know I'm rambling at this point, but I do feel these things. Like I want them to be okay.
Yeah, I just have a quick question about Peaches. What happened between you two? Because I know that I don't know the whole situation with that. All I know is from Leo Convoy's video where Spoctor and her had some like beef, and like they were like in a call, and he was just being an ass. But I didn't know that you had any connection to that. I didn't know that you even like really knew her.
So it was mainly due to the Toby video, because I was pointing like, oh, like, look how badly you handled this. I was like, no, like, they were in a really bad situation, and I decided to be a petty bitch and treat them like shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, I have no like information on within the community, because there's so many people that are.
I just want to say that because I do hold those regrets.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe then some.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like I said, I think when people see this, they'll see definitely a different side, because I mean, from what I've seen on your content, which I haven't seen a ton, but this is probably like the rawest you've ever kind of been in front of like maybe a microphone, in my opinion, kind of just telling your truth. And I think that goes a long way.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think.
Is there anything else you need, man?
No, I think that was it. And like I said, you gave me more than I needed, and I think you gave me a very good. You painted a very good picture on where you're at and where you were. So I appreciate that.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and I hope you do well, and I hope you continue thriving in whatever you do, and I hope you know that, you know, some people deserve second chances, not everyone, but I think you definitely do, and I think you could definitely make the right steps, and I hope that you know that like that chapter in your life is definitely not completely at an end if you don't want it to be.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go check on my boyfriend, see how he's doing, and see if I can get started on my animation project with a friend of mine.
All right, sounds
Let me know
good.
if you need anything else. Again, you can still contact me on my Discord. That's the only platform I tend to use, honestly.
Okay, cool. Thank you again.
All right, no problem, man.
Okay, have a nice day.
You too, man. Bye-bye.
So, as I mentioned in the call, I really didn't know what to expect when reaching out to Junkie. I was honestly never really close to him, and I don't know how he felt about me considering the call that was leaked, which was partly about my video. And I really have no interest in the drama that he had with pretty much everyone else in this community. I was really only interested in the stuff with Spoctor, as I kind of feel like that was his biggest crime in all the shit that he's been through. So I know most of you have a lot of other reasons on why you hate Junkie and would never give him the opportunity to speak about his past mistakes or even apologize, which I totally get, and you're entitled to feel however you want about Junkie, but I really just wanted to give him a chance to speak about these things since he probably hasn't had a recent opportunity in this stage of his life to do so without proper motivation. Because I know what it's like to get stuck in your own world when making YouTube videos as part of a bigger community than yourself. You see a lot of people fall from the top constantly for good reasons, and it kind of puts everyone on edge. It definitely doesn't justify or excuse anyone's behavior, especially Junkie, but everything is a lot clearer in hindsight and with reflection. And like Junkie said, the last thing we want people to take away from this video is that you should forgive him. That's not up for either of us. All I ask is that you take everything into consideration and form your own opinion with everything we know from the past to now. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter if you do or don't forgive him, since he'll probably never forgive himself. And you know, that's okay. If that's what fuels him to being a better person and not making the same mistakes, so be it. But considering he didn't do anything heinous, like on the scale of Spoctor or even Ghost, I honestly hope he finds peace or closure in all of this at some point and makes a return if that's truly the route he wants to take. So I think that's about all I wanted to say about the situation as a whole. This video will be the last time I talk about it, at least in its own video. Because when I originally made my video on Spoctor, his reputation was pretty much indestructible. He basically had a council of goons who would jump on any grenade thrown at him, and now most of them are either gone or will never trust him again. His reputation can and honestly will never be fixed. So I can pretty much rest easy knowing that any attempt at a comeback will be met with an overwhelming amount of backlash, whether I'm involved in it or not. And I know I went pretty hard on Jar and the community as a whole. I just think everyone in it is way too old to be doing this still. And I really do think pretty much everyone in it is fucking annoying with a hero complex that bugs the fuck out of me, especially Jar. But I don't genuinely hate anyone in it, at least not that much. I just haven't given a fuck about other creators or even viewers for a very long time, since I never look at comments on videos like this anymore. Nowadays, I really just care about the quality of my content and how I feel about them, not how they'll do or what other people want to see, at least not on this channel. And really, since YouTube disabled viewable dislikes after I left, I kind of felt like I had to go a little demon mode on a community I've had an issue with for a very long time. And I think going forward, it just encourages me to speak my mind no matter what anyone else thinks. This channel is really just my diary and documentation of my life. So honestly, I don't recommend subscribing at all, since the content I'll upload on here whenever I decide to do so will be on moments in my life that I want to immortalize on the internet or on topics that I'd like to watch myself. So that pretty much wraps up everything I wanted to say about my approach and thoughts on this video. The last thing I want to say to anyone who watches these long drama videos is just to watch something better. I get if a creator you really like is getting called out for something you might want to tune in on, but stop watching videos on creators you don't really know or even like. It's like true crime content. It'll never stop unless you fuckers watch something else. Yes, some creators need videos documenting their mistakes or accusations, especially to spread awareness to their core audience. But most people don't deserve more than like a twit longer. Like, just stop supporting this culture of circle jerking on creators who are obviously bad. I honestly think society will start to heal when you guys decide, you know what, maybe we don't need to hear Just a Robot's opinion on child groomer number 578 or on some two YouTubers who are having a petty argument over Twitter or whatever. So here are a few recommendations on content you could be watching instead. That's really all I wanted to say to anyone still watching for the title of this video. Now I want to really briefly update my subscribers on where I've been, since I'll make a proper video on it soon. Because I know I kind of just sprung my last video on my viewers without any warning or update on where I've been. And I had mentioned in the comments that I would make 2 videos doing so, and this was definitely not one of them. I really had no idea I'd make this video until recently, so I won't say too much on here. I just wanted to let everyone know I'm a lot happier than I was back then. I was dealing with a lot of grief, mental issues, and an addiction to weed. I'm still not 100% better, but I'm definitely in a much better place in my life. I'm engaged to the mother of my daughter, and every day is legitimately better than the last. I'm just sorry to my viewers that it took stepping away from YouTube to get here. And I hope you all found other creators to enjoy my absence. I had a few friends and creators I really enjoyed that inspired me in the content that I made that I'd like to recommend. My proper comeback video will take some time to make since it's a big one, but it's been in the works for a couple years and one that I'm most excited to make. So I'm sorry I've spent my time on something I only find interesting or entertaining, but I'd rather work on that right now than something I think everyone else would like. But I promise I will return to making videos on topics that I think other people will find interesting at some point, since those videos motivate and interest me too. I have a lot of them in the vault, and even some with scripts that are almost done, since I never stop thinking about video ideas, honestly not even for a single day. But for now, I have a baby and a fiance to take care of. So I hope you all forgive my lack of uploads and interest on topics I only want to see or make.
We some motherfucking apex predators. When it's the genesis, out for their presidents, VPs, and delegates. Ain't smoking on the delegate, weighing out the heavy shit. You could get high off the smell of it. It's like dopey and nostrils, AK for your brain, made them open their chakras. Apollo's apostle, the stroke of Picasso. Benita Appleboom trying to go to Mikasa. She told me that she not bilingual, but got two tongues. If that's what you into, I got inside her mental. Chicks that I've been through was simple. Now I'm trying to figure how to bend spoons. The prodigy of an alchemist is in the globes in rotation.